The Sandy and Toddcast is a Mindgarden Media podcast in association with
Screw You, Todd
Productions.
Broadcasting from two very different yet magical places not found on any map. Get ready to discuss the strange, weird, ghostly, crazy, spooky, and odd things that take place around us each and every day. All while having a little bit of fun. This is the Sandy and Toddcast.
And welcome to another bonus episode of the Sandy and Toddcast. This time around, it's an EMPATHECARY podcast. She is Sandy.
He is Todd.
And we are here to talk about being an empath.
Being an empath. Yes. Lots of different things with being an empath.
Well,
we haven't done one of these in a while.
We haven't. And one of the things I thought we could just talk about briefly is while during the whole Sandy and Toddcast and EMPATHECARY and all that kind of stuff, both of us have, certainly purchased or been gifted plenty of crystals and oracle cards and tarot cards and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But you've really gotten into the whole crystal thing.
I have. For a couple of reasons. Number one, because they're gorgeous. I just love them. They're beautiful. I'm sitting here looking at my collection now, and I love them. But I also believe in them in the sense that I am huge on intention, and it is actually scientifically proven that crystals can hold charge. They are literally, when we say our crystals are charged, literally, it's scientifically proven. That's why they're used in a lot of different pieces of equipment. Crystals are used in a lot of things that we use every day. We just don't realize that they're used because they do hold electric charges. They do hold different abilities. And I've really sort of, as I evolve in my mindset, as I evolve in my psychic and medium abilities, in my empath abilities, I've come to realize that you can use them as a tool. And are they the be-all, end-all? No. Would I use a crystal in place of a doctor's care? No, never. But I do believe that they are a tool that can help us enhance our own well-being through the intentions that we set, if that makes sense. And so every crystal tends to have a different ability within it. And some are good for mental health. Some are good for emotional health. Some are good for physical health. And they help you enhance your lifestyle, enhance what you're doing. There's some good for diabetes. There are some that you bring with you when you're traveling. There are some that you use for protection. That's the big one that we talk about a lot, is crystals that we use for protection, whether it be from the spirits during an investigation or whether it be from jerks in everyday life, sort of shielding us from the negativity. We can use them as a tool. And that's why I really started to learn so much about them. And I do believe that along with our mindset and our setting of intention, that they can really make a difference.
I think one thing that people need to realize is that, crystals can be from nature, right? Mm-hmm. They can also be man-made.
Yes.
And scientists and people in the space industry and people in satellite industry all create crystals, as you said, to do various things.
Yeah.
And so I always find it kind of funny when people who, and I don't use this terminology much anymore, but people in the woo-woo world who say, oh, this crystal gives me this and this crystal gives me that. It's still science. It's still There's still a scientific part of that, and and some of them are the same people that are against Western medicine, and I understand that too. I'm not here. I'm not a proponent of Western medicine, but it all goes hand in hand, folks. Believe it or not,
it really
that crystal in your pocket, that's science.
Yes,
believe it or not.
Yeah, it is. And And it's so funny. I think some people just don't know that, and some people don't want to know that.
There you go.
They just want to believe that it's all like just the woo-woo world, just the meta. It's not. It's a combination. I love when people, like 150% skeptic, say, well, it's all craziness. No, it actually isn't all craziness. It's scientific too. It really is. There's a lot of science involved in the paranormal world, and it's very interesting to see that. And there's different crystals that you can use for different things. One of the first crystals I ever bought was when we were in Door County, and we were in Fish Creek, and we had lunch. And then we were wandering around a little bit. That's when you made me take a picture by the chicken.
Yep.
The large life-size, not even my life-size chicken. You were such a bossy person. I had to take a picture with
Did you get on it? Or no, that was a cow was someplace else, right?
Yeah, that was the cow. You wanted me to get on the chicken. I said, no, that's not happening. I stood up for myself. But we did go to a metaphysical shop, and I got a beautiful, beautiful, large clear quartz crystal sphere in there, along with, I think, some serpentine. And it's one of my favorites, and it's so beautiful. And they're great for meditation because crystals also help you focus. There's something to focus on. There's so much to be said for mindset in any aspect of your life. We're not just talking the paranormal world. We're talking about any aspect of your life. There's something to be said for mindset. That's why a lot of times, they'll say, when you wake up in the morning, every morning, give yourself an affirmation. Today is going to be a great day. Well, eventually, after a while, a lot of us will start to really believe that, and it will change our mindset about the way that we handle the day. Crystals are kind of the same thing. It's focusing on the things that you need to focus on in your life. And they will help you do that by giving you that focus, giving you that change of mindset. And meditation is fantastic with crystals. So that's sort of just my story. I'm getting more and more. I'm loving some of the pieces that I've gotten are just absolutely gorgeous. I bought last week, I purchased an amethyst cluster, like a geode. And it's large. It's about 5 inches tall. It's very large. And it's probably one of the most beautiful crystals I've seen or had. And I just love that. And I have it right to my right so I can look at it all the time. And I also bought, which might sound funny, but I also purchased a black obsidian raven. And I think I showed that to you. And it is just absolutely gorgeous. And of course, obsidian is one of the crystals, stones that is good for protection against negative energy. And so I feel like he's my protector. Again, mindset. My mindset is this raven is my protector. Maybe, he may very well be, but that's my mindset on him, projected onto him. So I know I'm kind of going on and on, but there's just so many ways that you can incorporate the beauty and the functionality of crystals into your life as a tool to help you cope with everyday stress.
So I want to put you on the spot. And when we were literally discussing right before this podcast, what are we going to talk about? And we were like, we could talk about that. And then I opened up the door to crystals, and I did that for a reason, because I would like you to tell us a little bit about this idea you have of helping animals.
Yes. So thank you for that. I didn't even think about that. So here's the deal. I call it a project. It's not really a business. It's more like a project for me because you're not busy enough. You don't have enough going on in your life. I know. I'm crazy. I know. But this one, my big mantra over the years in developing who I am, what I am, not just in the woo-woo or paranormal world, but metaphysical world, but in general, in my life and finding my peace, is learning and helping. And so about a month or two ago, I sort of got it into my head we all have pets. Almost everybody has a pet, or someone they love has a pet, and maybe they're going through a little something, or physically, mentally, emotionally. Maybe they're not. Maybe it's to preserve their health, but we all have pets in our lives. And I am taking this journey of crystals personally, but I also realized how amazing crystals can be for our pets. Now, again, big disclaimer. Not to take the place of routine veterinary care. That's not what it's about. It's about enhancing, supplementing that veterinary care with the healing properties of crystals. And in my research, I found that there are crystals that can take care of all different kinds of things. Pet anxiety. They can take care of, there's actually a crystal that will help you if your pet gets lost or gets out, help you connect more with your pet to help guide them home through a meditation. There are all kinds of things that will help. Again, not to take the place of looking for your pet actively,
right?
But but helping in that process. There are all kinds of things: physical ailments, emotional problems that a pet may have, separation anxiety. There are all kinds, and there's all different kinds of ways to handle it. There's stones that you can use for massaging your pet. If you have a cat or a dog who maybe once in a while steal your crystal out of a location and play with it, maybe that pet is drawn to that crystal. So it's important to learn how to use that to help your pet, because for some reason they're drawn to that crystal. There's so many different uses for crystals in your pet's life, different ways. Just having them in a room that your pet frequents can help them. Smoky quartz is a big one. There's all kinds. And I'm learning this myself, and I'm on this journey, and I thought, why not create a community where we can all help our pets? I'm still throwing around some of my ideas. I've thrown some at you to see what you thought. My project is going to be called The Possum Pet. And I do have a Facebook page, and I will put it in our group, the link in our group. And you can find it on Facebook. There's nothing really on there yet, but if you'd like to go like the page, I'm hoping by the beginning of June that I should be able to start doing some stuff. I've been throwing ideas around. I've been throwing around workshops. I've been throwing around classes. I've been throwing around instructional videos. And I also want to make these available to everyone at, here we go, reasonable prices, so that people can learn about them, not have to hunt, not have to find legit sources and go through all of that, but literally can get them from me at a very reasonable price with instructions on what to do and how to do it. And again, I've been looking at different options. Maybe I would make videos. Maybe we would do workshops. Maybe we would do classes, pet massage, all kinds of different things that we can do. But still throwing around ideas, still in the planning process, but I'm really excited about it. It's called The Possum Pet. Yet another project that I'm taking on because, like you said, I don't have enough to do in my life. And but I'm really excited about it. And I really hope people will take this journey with me, because I think it will not only help me in my learning process, but it would help pet owners in their learning process and their understanding. And it will obviously help your pets. Because again, Todd, what's the biggest thing? What are you doing when you're incorporating these into your pet's life? Is you're bonding more with your pet. You're spending more time with your pet. You're increasing that bond. You're increasing that relationship with your pet. And that's never negative.
Right.
That's just not a negative thing. So, yes, thank you for bringing that up, because I didn't even think about it, but it's called The Possum Pet, and I'm really excited about it.
Well, I'm excited for you as well. And I think you should do a podcast and talk to other people and all that kind of stuff. It'll be right up your alley.
I know, because, I like to talk.
What?
What?
Here's the sound of my mind being blown.
But I do. I like to help people. I like to learn. I like to help. That's when I do an investigation. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to learn and I'm trying to help. That's what I try to do. It's just who I am. So anyways, that's I still don't know 100% what I'm doing, but just some thoughts that I have so far.
And you don't have to, because the best thing you can do is figure out what interests people the most over time and just kind of focus in on that.
Yes, I want to start out small and build, and I will need everybody else to come and build with me so that we can form this community. We did it with our Stay Weirdos group. We formed an amazing community. That's what I'd like to do here, too.
Well, very good. I'm very excited for you.
Thank you. I'm excited, too. I'm a little bit nervous because I'm still in that planning process, but once I have everything written in stone, I'll be good to go.
There is a great pet psychic from the UK that our friend Lorna got me kind of into a few years ago when I was working in the UK. And so I understand that there are people, that want to know how their pet is doing and, talk to their pet and all that kind of stuff. So if there is room for that in this world, and she actually has her own TV show now. So there could be a day, Sandy, where you have a new show on TV.
I don't know.
And
I don't know.
I don't know.
Let me tell you I've used pet psychics a few times over the years, just a few. The first time was very funny. We used to dress my dog Jack up. He was very patient. He was like an old soul. And he was very patient. And he would let me dress him up in some of the craziest stuff. And in August of 2010, he had only been with us about 9-10 months. And we took him to Maine with us for a week. And when we were in Maine, we bought him a lobster costume. And didn't put it on him till we got home. And a few months later, I went to a fundraiser and there was a pet psychic. And she looked at me and said, "Do you dress him up?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "He doesn't really like that red one very much."
Wow.
And it was very awkward looking on him. I will say this. He didn't look that happy. But she said he doesn't like the red one very much. And so that kind of blew my mind. And there were a couple of others that I used over the years. And then one really amazing, about 5 or 6 years ago, I met a wonderful woman who now lives in Gettysburg, but she used to be up here. Her name's Lisa, and I'd like to have her on the show sometime. One of her many gifts is an animal communicator. And our Jack, we lost in May of 2020. And she had read Jack a couple of times. And then one day, he was very old. We estimate him to be about 15 and a half when we knew it was time. But I had a really hard time making that decision. And because as a pet owner, you feel guilt. I mean, he had the best life. Oh my gosh. And this was a dog who literally we spent $250 a month on medication for over the years. We spent $12,000 when he had a mass behind his eye. I mean, we just did everything we could to make him comfortable and loved. And, it didn't matter. But I had this guilt. So the day we made the actual decision, I had messaged her. And I didn't give her any information. And we didn't talk a lot about his problems on social media or anything. And I messaged her and I said, just one sentence. I said, "Lisa, can you please tell me where Jack is right now, mentally?" And she came back and she told me that he was feeling very tired and essentially that he was ready. She had no idea. And she helped me make the decision. And I will be forever grateful to her because in my heart, I knew it was the right decision. It was the time. But in my heart, I didn't want to let him go. And one of the best gifts you can give is letting them go when it's time. And her words to me solidified that for me. And I will be forever grateful for that because it really helped me. And so animal communicators are very, very dear to me. And they really can help a lot. We don't think about animal communicators very often, but they are just as important a piece of the puzzle as psychic mediums who deal primarily with people or spirits. So yes, it's an important thing to be able to do. And it does make a huge difference in a lot of lives. A lot of lives. It's not just about Red Lobster coats and costumes. It's about helping us make the decisions that we need to make.
That poor dog.
Oh my God. Some of the costumes that he wore over the years, every year for Halloween. Now, Spike, on the other hand, it's coming up 4 years now that we've had Spike, is like a puppy still at the age of 7 and much higher energy than Jack ever was. And I can't keep a costume on him more than 5 minutes. And so he gets the light version of costumes on Halloween every year and doesn't really get dressed up very much.
I kind of wonder if Jack didn't send Spike to you as a way of saying, fuck these costumes.
I know. Listen, I only put up with them for food.
Exactly.
Because he was very treat motivated. Oh my God, the things we've dressed him up like. But anyways, so yeah, didn't mean to go off on that tangent.
No, it's okay.
I
was just thinking how you do the same thing to your husband. He's going to be Raggedy Andy and all sorts of shit.
Listen, he likes it. Listen, you know what? If he in 2021, because of the pandemic, we still put on the Halloween benefit. And I thought, what are we going to do this year? Because, I want to I want to do something that wears a mask.
Right.
So if you remember, I was a doctor.
Yep.
And poor Dave was a nurse.
In a dress.
With a dress. In a dress. And his hairy legs. It was amazing. We do have some of the best costumes, I have to say. So.
She's starting the possum pet, and I am starting poor Dave. It's going to be a fundraiser to get Dave out of that relationship.
Get him some help.
Yes. Yeah.
Listen, it's been like 21 years now. He's stuck with me.
Oh, that poor fella.
Oh my gosh, like 22 years. We're going to be married 19 years in May.
Well, congratulations to the two of you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up our EMPATHECARY. But again, the possum pet, is that right?
Yeah, the possum pet, it's going to be on Facebook. Go ahead and like it now because at some point in the next few weeks, I will start putting up a little bit of stuff. I just have to work through the final stuff. But make sure you like the page and we'll take it from there.
All right. Well, again, because this is a bonus episode, no spiel for you. We're back in a couple of weeks with season 12 of the Sandy and Toddcast. Until then, my friends, bye.
Bye.